What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I think I'm gonna have to go to the witness protection program after I make this video because these RHOBH, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills stands, are something serious. So, okay, I watched the finale episode that aired yesterday, you guys, and you know how I've been like anti-Lisa Rinna for years? I think I've been anti-Lisa Rinna ever since Dorit came on to the scene. Actually, yeah, about that time. I didn't like the way she did the Yolanda stuff, but then like she really went hard on Dorit, and I didn't love that because I loved Dorit like on her debut season. So I've been anti-Lisa Rinna for years. And I want to let you guys know that after watching the finale episode, I've seen the light, and Ms. Rinna has temporarily converted me. Yes, I'm a little bit of a Lisa Rinna stan. Not even a fan, a little bit of a Lisa Rinna stan at the moment after watching the finale episode. And let me tell you why. In last night's episode, Denise Richards pulled a no-show. And not only did she pull a no-show on a very big cast event party at Dorit's house, she ghosted everyone, and then she lied to everyone as well. Like, she just continues on with the lying, and you know, I had enough at that point. Like, she had two pretty good allies, a really good ally in Garcelle Beauvais, who she's known for decades, and then like a pretty good ally in Dorit Kemsley, who she's known, for a couple of years at that point. Like, they were gonna have her back even if Brandi showed up. Brandi wound up showing up. Brandi texted Denise ahead of time that she was gonna be there. And so Denise decided, okay, like, F this, I'm not gonna show up and I'm not gonna tell anyone, which I thought was unfair to Dorit as the host and as a new friend, and to Garcelle as someone who was waiting outside for her for like 20 minutes. Like, they were supposed to go together. Why would you ghost your friend who's supposed to pick you up? And like, Dorit had this really good illusionist, you guys, it's gonna sound so immature, but Dorit had a really good illusionist at her party, and Garcelle missed out on that because Denise ghosted her. Like, if she had just told Garcelle, I'm not going, I'm shutting off my phone, not having any more conversation about it, we'll talk about it another time, have a good time tonight, it would have been great, and Garcelle would have seen the illusionist. Like, she missed a really good part of the party because of Denise's like ghosting her. I didn't like that, and Garcelle didn't appreciate it either. She's like, I was waiting outside in a car for you for like 20 minutes. I called you like 10 times. You kept sending me the voicemail. Are we not friends? What the heck? So anyway, the party happens. Brandi's thirsty ass shows up, of course, looking like the cat lady. And Denise tells a producer like, oh, I couldn't come. I had a family emergency, which I didn't buy from the beginning. It was way too convenient. And then like she later admits that it wasn't a family emergency. She just didn't want to show up because she knew Brandi was going to be there. And then she tells Garcelle that the reason why she ghosted her and didn't like tell her anything was because she didn't want Garcelle to have to lie for her, which I think is just so annoying, you guys. And so she decides she wants to sit down with Lisa Rinna because, again, she doesn't feel like Lisa Rinna has been a very good friend to her. I agree. But I also feel like Denise has not been a good friend to any of these girls, really, because she just keeps on lying and changing her story and just blah, blah, blah. And it's quite tiresome, to be honest with you. So she basically demands to go to Lisa Rinna's house. And Lisa's like, all right, but you're not going to manipulate your way out of like this conversation. I want to hold you accountable as a friend. And she's like, fine, let's go. So she goes over, and she, per usual, is omitting a large part of her story. You know what I mean? At this point, I don't even think the issue is whether or not she slept with Brandi. It's why are you such a liar? And like, why do you keep like backtracking? It's so irritating. So she goes to the house and she's like, I've been like incredibly honest with you guys. I'm not close with her. She's fabricating the text through this like fake app, that fake text, blah, blah, blah. If you were not close with Brandi, you would have never allowed her to sleep over in a hotel with you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe that. At this point, Rinna is incredibly frustrated that, Denise shows up to her house demanding to come over, first of all, and second of all, like scolding her already before she even gets there. And she's like, listen, sis, you just lied to us. They sit down. She's like, Denise, you lied to us. We were worried about you because you told all of us that you were gonna be there. And then we get to the party, you're not there. You're not picking up your phone. Like, we thought the worst, like something really bad happened to you. And then we hear from production that you had a family emergency. We got even more scared for you. And yeah, like, I agree with Lisa Rinna on that point. Like, why are you telling these lies to people? Like, you make them worried for you. You should not use your family's name in vain like that to get out of things. It's just a little bit of a mess. At this point, whether or not you support or love Denise, you have to admit that she has been pathologically lying. She's not the angel that you guys so badly want to believe she is. This is the same woman who once allegedly had an affair with her best friend's husband. So let's drop the poor little lamb being like hurt by everybody act. Like, Denise knows what she is doing in her life. She has done a lot of things to hurt other people in her own life as well. No one is 100% good or 100% bad. You have to look at people objectively here. So anyway, she sits down with Rinna and claims that she's been dealing with Brandy's allegations head on. And Lisa Rinna's like, oh, really? You're not trying to hide anything from anybody. And Denise, again, claims that she's not. And so Lisa's like, okay, well, what about the cease and desist? And at that point, Denise freezes because she didn't want it to make it on to air at all. She's like, who told you that? And when Rinna goes, ooh, you're so angry, I went from being like, you're such a horrible friend. She is. I still think Lisa Rinna is the worst friend you could possibly have. And then I realized, listen, I'm watching a television show, and this woman is so committed to providing me with good television that she's willing to sacrifice her friend. How can I not stand that? Yeah, it's awful, awful, awful from a relationship perspective. But again, you and we signed up to watch a reality show, a messy reality show at that. Let's not act surprised that people are throwing their friends under the bus, all these things that come with the territory of watching The Real Housewives for entertainment. Every single show needs a victim, quote unquote, and a villain. Lisa Rinna knows her role and she plays it to the best of her ability. And I actually really appreciate it at this point. I was like, well, why am I so anti Lisa Rinna? She's awful to these people. Yeah. But it's her job. This is what keeps a television show interesting. You can't complain about some franchises of the Housewives being so boring. And then when you've got someone committed to making sure that her franchise is incredibly interesting and controversial, complain that she's there. At that point, you're kind of talking out of both sides of your mouth and just being incredibly hypocritical. And that's a self-reflection, So I'm like, you know what, Grace? Lisa Rinna knows she's the villain and she's committed to being the villain. And I truly appreciate that. So yeah, after watching the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills finale, I flipped from a hardcore Lisa Rinna hater. I thought she was so vile and so evil and so awful. I still do think these things, but I think that she's playing a role, and I think that she is playing it incredibly well. And just like some people play the villain role so well, some people play the victim role so well as well. And is that something that Denise Richards is doing this season? I think so. I truly think so. She lost me a couple of episodes back. I made a video about it. You'll see it in my Housewives of Beverly Hills playlist at the end of this video. But, I made a video about how, when she started talking about, oh, if Brandy comes out with text messages, just know that they're fake. There's an application that helps you fake text messages. I was like, girl, bye. Girl, bye, bye, bye. You slept with this woman and you don't want to own it. We're tired of hearing about it. I truly am tired of hearing about it. But, the only reason it keeps getting dragged on is because you keep trying to cover your tracks and you're not doing a very good job of it. Let's talk about Lisa Rinna. Can you appreciate her villainness, or are you just a little too emotionally invested in protecting Denise? Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills finale in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.